A very good morning, guys. In the last class, we have completed the periodic properties such as ionization energy, electron gain enthalpy, electron negativity, valencies, oxidation state, electropositive nature, and oxidation number, and how they vary along the period as well as top to down in a group. With that, we have completed the synopsis part. In this class, we are going to start objective questions. Various type of objective questions, conceptual, level 1, level 2, level 3 and previous year's courses also we are going to cover. Right? The important thing when you are attempting an objective question is that you need to understand the question thoroughly. In order to have a proper attempt, first of all, the language of the question, the terminology of the question must be understood clearly. So we will start the discussion of objective questions. Here our first question comes. Read the question thoroughly. What the question is saying: in Lothermian plot, the peaks are occupied by. In the Lothermian plot, the peaks are occupied by. We have discussed the Lothermian classification of elements, in which he has arranged his classification in the graphical form by plotting a graph taking atomic value versus atomic weights. The graph seems to be, he has taken atomic value and atomic weight he has plotted. It was a graph something like this. In this graph, what are the main aspects? Here, he is asking which elements will occupy the peaks of the graph. Generally, the elements that are having maximum atomic value will occupy the peaks. So, among all these elements, alkali metals, alkaline earth metals, halogens, noble gases, which elements would occupy the peak of the curve? Right? By looking at the options, you can immediately eliminate the one option, that is fourth option, because at the time of Lothermeyer, these noble gases were not destroyed. So you have to decide only between these three options. This is called elimination process. Now we know that in the modern periodic table, alkali metals generally lies extremely left side. So because of that reason, their atomic value is largest. Generally, alkali metals occupies the peak. If you are taking, this will be lithium, sodium, potassium, and alkali earth metals will occupy the descending positions. Alkali earth metals will occupy the descending positions, whereas halogens will occupy ascending positions of the curve. This is the important aspects of Lothermian classification. He has represented the elements in the graphical form, where alkali metals occupies the peaks of the curve. Your answer will be the first option, that is alkali metals, because of their largest atomic value, they occupies the peaks of the curve. And alkaline earth metals occupies descending positions, halogens will occupy ascending positions. Right? Hope it is clear. We'll move to the next question, if it is clear. Here is our second question, that is part question in the conceptual questions. The law of triad is applicable to a group of, here, the law of triad is applicable to which of the following? This is Daubonnier's triad law. We know that Daubonnier has classified the elements into triads. What is meant by a triad? A group of 3 elements. Right? Here let us see which of the following can be a triad. What is triad law says? In the triad, the atomic weight of the middle element is arithmetic mean of remaining 2 elements. Let us see. Here, let us go with the first option. What is the first option? Chlorine, bromine, iodine. What are their atomic weights? Chlorine is 35.5, bromine is 80, iodine is 127. So let us see the average of first and last, that is chlorine and iodine. How much it comes? It comes 81.25%. Right? Which is equal to what? Bromine, approximately equal to the bromine. So this is your triad. And what about the remaining? These carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, sodium, potassium, bromine. These are not double strands. Right? He has proposed only limited number of strands. Better to remember those strands. And this chlorine bromine iodine is one of those strands. Right? Shall we move to the second question? If it is clear. Right. Now here comes our next question. Read the question properly. What the question is saying: the physical and chemical properties of elements are the periodic function of their atomic number. This was stated by whom it is? What are the options here? Mendeleev, Lothar Mayer, Mosley and Bohr. One thing you can say here is asking, what is asking? Function of their atomic number is asking. This is what you need to see thoroughly. Atomic number is said. And we know that atomic number was discovered by whom it is? Mosley. With the discovery of atomic number, he also stated that he stated that atomic number could be the fundamental basis for the classification elements, and he said that the physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic function of their atomic numbers. Most of you might confuse with the both, but this statement was given by Mosley. Right? This was given by Mosley as he has discovered the atomic number. Bohr has constructed the modern periodic table, and he said that modern periodic law, the physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic function of their atomic number and electronic configuration. If it is only atomic number, that will be the Mosley. Right? And what about Mendeleev has said that the physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic function of their atomic weights. Hope it is clear. We will move to the next question. Here comes our next question. In Mendeleev's table, the triad of 8 groups is. In the Mendeleev's classification, we have studied there are total 9 groups, right? Among these 9 groups, except 0 and 8 group, remaining all are divided into 2 subgroups. When it comes to the 8th group, there are total 9 elements in the 8th group. What are the 9 elements? In the Mendeleev's periodic table, in group 8, there are total 8 elements. What are the 8 elements? Iron, cobalt, nickel, and ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, and osmium, iridium, platinum. These are the 9 elements. Let us see, is there any one of these pair? Now here we have the correct option. What is that? Ruthenium, rhodium, and palladium. This will be your answer. Right? This copper, silver, gold comes under. Where it comes under first B group. It's not A group. Right? Now, hope it is clear. You need to remember these 9 elements, which comes under A group. We'll move to the next question. Here comes the 8th question in our material, that is the number of elements known when Mendeleev presented periodic table is. Mendeleev has developed the periodic table in the year 1869. At this time, the total elements known was 63. At the time of Mendeleev, he has known of only 63 elements. Right? Here comes our next question. What is the question? Zero group was introduced by. We know that in the original Mendeleev periodic table, there are no zero groups. Zero group was not included. It was introduced later by a scientist called Ramsay and Ray. There were 2 scientists, and in option we have only one, that is Ramsay and Ray. Right? This zero group elements was introduced in the Mendel periodic table by Ramsay. Right? Here comes our next question. Ecosilicon is now coiled. Right? In the merits of Mendeleev periodic table, merits of Mendeleev periodic table, we have studied that he had the foresight of discovery of new elements and left some gaps in between his periodic table, which are named as based on the element below in which he has left the space. What are the elements he has left gaps? He has left the gaps below. Boron, which is called as Eka boron, right? He left three spaces: Eka, aluminium, and Eka germanium. Later they are found to be discovered as Eka boron was scandium and Eka aluminium was gallium, and this is Eka silicon. Eka silicon was found to be discovered later as germanium, right? So these three elements and discovery after the element. Total these 6 elements are very important. Frequently get a question from this Mendel periodic table. In our option, he was asking about silicon, right? Silicon, Eka silicon was called nowadays what it is called? Germanium quantities. Germanium it is called, right? Shall we move to the next question? Good. Here comes our next question. What is the next question? The atomic weight of beryllium and indium were corrected by Mendeleev using the formula. This is also one of the merit of the Mendel's periodic table, right? Along with the leaving the spaces for the discovery of new elements, he also corrected the atomic weights of certain elements by using their corrected valences. And what is the formula for the correction of atomic weights? Here atomic weight will be equal to, right, equivalent weight into valence, right? He has corrected the atomic weights of beryllium, indium, uranium, etc. elements, and he also corrected the atomic weight of uranium and protactin amounts, right? This is the relation that we use for the calculation of atomic weight from equivalent weight as well as valence, right? We'll go to the next question. Read the question thoroughly. Modern periodic table is based on the atomic number of the element. The experiment which proved that significance of the atomic number was. Just now also we have discussed about this. The person who has discovered the atomic number was Henry Moseley, and what was the experiment that he has conducted to discover the atomic number? In the synopsis part we have already discussed this. That is, he has discovered the atomic number by X-ray spectroscopy. What is X-ray spectroscopy? In X-ray spectroscopy, he has bombarded the element with the high energetic cathode rays, by which what happens, this element will produce radiation. He has measured the wavelength of that radiation, which will be directly proportional to the atomic number. From this experiment, he has concluded that atomic number is the fundamental basis for the classification of elements, and the experiment that is associated is that Moseley's work on X-ray spectroscopy. Right? This is the right answer. Second option is correct. Right? Shall we move to the next question? Now, here our second question comes. Next question comes. Read the question. The number of periods in the long form of periodic table is. If you are talking about the long form of periodic table, we know that there are how many number of periods are there? Number of periods are 7 and number of groups are 8. What he is asking? He is asking about the periods. So what will be the answer? It will be the 7 periods. Right? Now, we'll move to the next question. It is our next question. The element with atomic number 19 is asking to which family this 19th element belongs to. First of all, at least we have to remember the elements up to 30. We can remember them. Without using any trick or shortcut, we can identify the group, period, black of those elements. At least up to 30. So what is the element with atomic number 19? Atomic number 19 will be what? Potassium is. Potassium is the atomic number 19. And to which group of the periodic table this potassium belongs? That is first group. What is the group number? First group. I will say first year. And what these first year group elements are called? First year group elements are called as alkali metals. What they are called? Alkali metals. Do you have any option with the alkali metals? Yeah. See here we have the option, that is fourth option is correct one for this. Alkali metals. What is meant by halogens? 17th group elements or 70th group elements. Chalcogens means 16th group elements or 68th group elements or oxygen family we say. And what is noble gases? 0 group elements are 8th group elements are called as noble gas elements. Now, let's move to the next question. Here is our next question. Read the question. A pair of atomic numbers which belongs to the S block are. In the options he has given certain pairs of atomic numbers. From that he is asking us to identify which pair belongs to the S block. Now see, 7th atomic number is 7 is nitrogen. Atomic number 7 is nitrogen. To which block it belongs to? How to decide the block? From the valence electronic configuration. What is the valence electronic configuration? It will be 2s2, 2p, 3d. So it belongs to fifth P block. And what is the group number? How to identify the group number? It is P block. 12 plus number of electrons in P. It will be 15. So it is not an element of S block. And what about this 15? This will be phosphorus, which is also belongs to the same group, that is 15th group. Now if you look at these options, atomic number 6. Atomic number 6 is what? Carbons. And carbon also belongs to the P block. How it belongs to the P block? Its valence electronic configuration is NS2, 2s2, 2p2. And the valence electron is present in the p orbital, that is differentiating electron is present in the p orbital, so that this carbon belongs to the P block. And the next atomic number is given as 12. Right? 12 is magnesium. Magnesium belongs to the S block. But he said that both should belong to the S block. In this pair only this carbon is belonging to the P block and this magnesium is belonging to the S block. But we need both the elements should be S block. If you look at this option, here 9 will be the fluorine and 17 will be the chlorine. These two also belongs to the P block of 17. And if you look at the fourth option, what is atomic number 3? That is lithium, which belongs to P. What is this? 1s2, 2s1. The valence electron or differentiating electron is present in s orbital. And what about this? Magnesium. Right? This is first group. And what about this? This will be neon. Right? 3s2. Here it is valence electron present in the s orbital, so it will also come to the s block, which is second group. These two belongs to the s block. So as per the question, what is our answer? Fourth option will be the answer. Right? If you have the thorough understanding of this atomic number, then looking at itself the question can be attempted. Now, let's move to the next question. Here is our next question. The element with electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d10, 4s2 and 4p5 belongs to. Here the question is asking to which period and to which group it belongs. We have already discussed the procedure to find out the group number, period number and black number. Right? First of all, you need to see the electronic configuration clearly. In the electronic configuration, what he has given here, what is the valence shell? Fourth shell. Here 4s2, 4p, 5 he has given. Right? So we know that period number will be equal to maximum nth value. What is the valence shell here? Quantum number is 4. So it belongs to the fourth period only, because it has to belong to the maximum nth value. One thing is clear that this particular electronic configuration belongs to the fourth period, and you need to remember, you need to determine group number also. So it is clear how I am saying it belongs to the fourth, right? Period number is 4 years. And when it comes to the group, here your differentiating electron is present in the p orbital, because if you see d is also completely filled, third shell is completely filled, 3s2 3p6 3d10 and 4s2 4p5. Your differentiating electron is in the p orbital. That means this particular element belongs to the p block. If an element belongs to the p block, how to determine its group number? By using the relation of what is that group number, right? Group number is equal to 12 plus number of electrons in p orbital, right? How many electrons are there in the p orbital? 5 electrons are there. So 12 plus 5, what will be the group number? 70. But here he has not given in the form of this numerical 1 2 3 7. He has given the Roman numbers. Here 17th group is generally considered as 7th group. So what is the period number? 4th period. And what is the group number? 4th group. So your answer will be third option. That is, this particular electronic configuration belongs to the 4th period and 7th group. Is this clear? Everything is clear. We will move to the next question. Here comes our next question. The element with atomic number 12 belongs to the group, which group and which period? The element with atomic number 12 belongs to dash group and dash period. Right? Now let us see. First of all, as I said, at least you need to remember 30 elements. For the rest of the elements, you can use the trick. Why you need to remember 30? Because for a time saving. In a competitive exams, attempting a question is not only important, attempting a question within the time is very important. In order to save time, so this simple type of question should be solved within less than 1 minute of time. So, atomic number, he has given atomic number 12, which is magnesium's atomic number, and we know that magnesium belongs to second A group. And second A group, what is its valence electronic configuration? Neon 3s2. So valency electrons, what is maximum NP value here? Third, that it belongs to the which period it will belong? It belongs to the third period. And what is the group it belongs to the? It belongs to the second A group. Now, if you have an option, we will go with that. Is there any option? Yeah. Here we have the option. What is that? Second A. Here we have the option. Second A and third period. Right? This is group number and this is period number. Right? Now, let us move to the another question. The element with NH2NP4 as outer electronic configuration is a. He has given the general valency electronic configuration, that is, what is the electronic configuration he has given? NH2NP4. Right? This general valence electronic configuration belongs to either alkali metals or halogens or noble gases or halogens. Now let us see. As the valence electron NH2NP4, differentiating electron is present in the p orbital. So this particular group belongs to p block. And how to identify the group number? Group number will be 12 plus how many electrons are there? 4. 16th group. What this 16th group will also be called as? It is called as chalcogens. Chalcogens, or we can also call it as oxygen family. Is that clear? Now, it comes to our next question. Atoms with 3 of their outermost orbits incompletely filled, the electrons are present in. Here, try to understand the question. Atoms with 3 of their outermost orbits are incompletely filled and the electrons are present in. Where the electrons will? Where the elements? Sorry. Here it has to be the elements, not electrons. Just make a correction in the question. Incompletely filled with the electrons are present in. Where it will be present? Either it is in lanthanides or representative elements or S-block elements or transition elements. Here, this is actually the classification of elements based on the properties. Based on the properties, elements are classified into 4 categories, that is inert gases, representative elements or normal elements, transition elements and inner transition elements based on the number of incomplete shells. Remember that if you are talking about noble gases, if you are talking about the noble gases are inert gases, all the shells are completely filled. All the shells are completely filled. Completely filled. If it is representative or normal elements, what are the elements of noble gas? This will be 82 or 0 rupees. Here, outermost shell, or we can say valency shell. Valency shell is incomplete. Only one shell is incomplete in this. In all the representative elements, what are representative elements? All the elements of S block and P block, with the exception of what is this? With the exception of 18th group. Except the 18th group, all the elements of S and P blocks comes under representative. If you are talking about the transition, in case of transition elements, this is the third type based on the properties, first, second and third. This transition elements generally valency shell and penultimate shell. Two shells are incomplete. Valency shell and penultimate shells are incomplete. Two shells are incomplete. Very important. If you are talking about inner transition elements, three shells are incomplete. What are the three shells? Outermost shell, penultimate shell, anti-penultimate shell. And we know that there are two types of inner transition shell. Inner transition are nothing but N block elements. There are two series in N block. That is 4F series or lanthanides we call, 5F series or actinides we call. Both lanthanides and actinides comes under inner transition series. Why we call them as inner transition? They are within the transition elements and they are what is inner transition. So atoms with three of their outermost orbital incomplete comes under lanthanides. That is N block elements are inner transition elements. Right? Hope it is clear. Now let's move to the next question. Element which generally exhibit variable oxidation state and form colored nature are. Right? Here we have the options: metallites, transition elements, non-metals, gases. It's a simple direct question. Elements which generally exhibit variable oxidation states and form colored complexes. Here you need to insist on variable oxidation state as well as colored atoms. If it is variable oxidation state, both P block and D block elements, that is transition elements, exhibit variable oxidation, but colored is generally exhibited by transition elements. Right? What is the answer here? Transition elements is our correct answer. Right. Here comes our next question. Which of the following remains unchanged in descending in a group in periodic table? Try to understand the question. Which of the following remains unchanged in descending in a group? Means when you are moving top to down in a group, which of the following will not change? That remains unchanged. Let us see what are the properties: valency electrons, atomic size, density, and metallic character. Now, here, if you see, generally, what is the advantage of periodic table? When you are arranging the elements according to their electronic configuration, all the elements that are falling in one line will exhibit the similar properties. Why they exhibit the similar properties? Because of the similar valency electronic configuration. If they are having similar valency electronic configuration, their number of valence electrons will be same. For example, if you are talking about first group, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. What are their general valence electronic configuration? I am writing only valence electronic configuration. 2s1, this will be 2s1, 3s1, 4s1, 5s1, 6s1, 7s1. What is the general valence electronic configuration? ns1. What is mean by valency? Valence electrons means number of electrons in the outermost state. What is outermost state here? S orbital. How many electrons are there in the s orbital? 1 electron. Is there any change when coming from top to down in a group in the valence electrons? Number of valence electrons remains unchanged when you are moving from top to down in a group in the periodic table. This is the property that remains unchanged when you are moving top to down in a group. When you come to the other properties, atomic size, what happens? Increases top to down in a group, right? Density also generally increases with decrease in the atomic weight. And what about the metallic character? Metallic character also increases down the group, and this is only the property which remains unchanged. Right? Let's move to the next question. Here comes the next question. The atomic number of an element is always equal to. Right? This was the previous question which is asked in the Ames exams. Right? The atomic number of an element always equal to. Right? What are the options given? Number of neutrons in the nucleus, half of the atomic weight, electrical charge of the nucleus, weight of the nucleus. Generally we know that the atomic number is always equal to the number of protons in the nucleus. Right? Here number of neutrons in the nucleus does not equal to the atomic number. Half of the atomic weight cannot be considered as atomic number. Here comes our right option. What is the right option here? Electrical charge of the nucleus. What is mean by the electrical charge of the nucleus? The charge of the nucleus. How the charge of the nucleus comes? With the protons. Nothing but the number of protons in the nucleus is considered as the charge of the nucleus. So this will be equal to the atomic number. Why we take the number of protons as atomic number? Why not number of electrons as atomic number? In a neutral atom, we know that number of protons and number of electrons are equal. In such cases, instead of taking number of electrons as atomic number, we are taking number of protons as atomic number. Why? It is very simple that the number of electrons can be increased or decreased. An atom can gain the electrons, an atom can lose the electron. In such cases, what happens? The number of electrons in an atom will not remain same, but the number of protons in an atom remains always same. Because of that reason only, this atomic number is always expressed in terms of number of protons present in the nucleus. Right? It is clear.